This is your weekly YouTube channel audit livestream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a massive shout out and thanks to our moderators who do an awesome job every single live stream. And that's your onboarding done. What channels have you brought us this week?
What? More channel reviews? Yes. Welcome back to vidIQ. Today, we're looking at your channels. You have been sending them in on the forums linked down below. We've pre-selected some, and then we're going to be picking some at random. So it's not too late. You could submit your channel towards the end of the stream and still potentially get picked. Or you could submit your channel for like 4 years and never get picked. It's fantastic. It's our favorite part of the week. And joining me today for this part of the week is Rob. Hello, Rob.
Say what? I love that your highlight of the week is disappointing people with channel audits that we're never going to give them.
You really
Dan,
get me.
you are looking radiant.
Oh,
So radiant that you remind me of when I purchase a new video game and I take off a wrapping for the first time. That is how pristine and new conditioned you look this week.
thank you. I don't know how to respond to that. I wasn't expecting. I was waiting for the takedown, but
No takedowns from me yet.
yeah. Okay. All right. I will do something to deserve that at some point.
All right.
So, are we ready?
I'm ready if you are. Hell.
Fine. All right.
Let's jump straight into it. Oh, goodness.
Okay.
You work quick. Right. No, I'm good with this. Let's do it.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Ding, ding, ding.
Channel number 1, Retro
Hey.
Specs. We selected you because you were the first person to submit on our non-gaming forum.
Congratulations.
They do videos about sorry, they show and teach. I thought it said tech. They show and teach about vintage reselling.
Okay.
They would like us to. They feel like their obstacle is filming and holding the camera the right way. They're struggling with the production a little bit, and overall, they would just like to know how to improve.
Okay.
So, Retrospects, you have 100 subscribers. I don't know when you hit this, but congratulations!
Oh, yeah. Wow. Congratulations on that as well. Goodness.
Big milestone.
Yeah, nice one.
Show of hands if you're working towards 100 subscribers on your channels right now. And let's see, you've been posting. Wow, it looks like every day, every other day. You know, this top row of videos is about a week old, starting here.
Let's find out then how old the channel is. If you go to oldest,
Yeah.
like, have a bit of this for a while or like
Not even a year.
so less than a year. Okay, right, cool.
Really great progress for only doing this for about a year so far.
Mhm.
So welcome to 100 subscribers in almost 1 year on YouTube. It looks like they've linked their eBay here. So they've kind of created this ecosystem for themselves whereby they are going through and I assume teaching people how to find vintage items and reselling them and also doing that themselves, right? So they have their store and they also have their YouTube channel, which I think is a really good symbiosis. I think this is a good way if you're considering YouTube as like a business more so than a hobby. This is like a good foundation, I think, right here.
I'm sure, Dan, you and I are desperate. Like, I want to talk about those thumbnails, but
Yeah.
they requested that first of all we look at holding the camera, very specific. So, do you think we should maybe watch the first 30 seconds of a most recent video and give some feedback on if this is a problem or not?
Let's see.
All right.
Have you heard the saying that you can't change the past and tomorrow may never come? That means that whatever you're doing right now is the only thing you have to focus on. So stop worrying about the future or the past. You don't have to live in regrets. You live only for the moment. So let's live only for the present. And today, I encourage you to replace any negative thoughts with encouraging ones.
All right, so this is the first 30
pause it
seconds.
there. All right. Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to chime in first?
Sure.
So I think I have no issue with how they're holding the camera specifically, nor any issue with the graphical enhancements like
The
putting
filters and stuff?
the rose crown and love yourself text, etc., etc. There is an argument that this should be like an Instagram reel or a short. This intro feels very much like a positive affirmation, which has now come to a close after 30 seconds. And the other critique I had was that I think the creator was either reading from a script or a bullet point that was just slightly off to her right-hand side, which was distracting for me as a viewer in these first 30 seconds. Now, does it deliver on the title, The Power of Positive Thinking? I think it does. We haven't addressed stopping negative thoughts yet, I don't believe, but there's another 10 minutes of this video. But yeah, the first 30 seconds, Dan, felt like a short or an Instagram reel bolted onto the beginning of it. What do you think?
I agree. I found the filters a little distracting personally, like the rose crown and stuff. But less than that, I thought was more distracting was the intro sequence where it's kind of like flickering a lot.
Glitching, yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit is fine, but it was just like going and I'm like, is this a whole video? I also saw that like from the preview, just putting my mouse over this video earlier, that the whole thing looks like it's filmed, or at least a lot of it looks like it's filmed in this vertical format. It does eventually
wide, isn't there? Right. Okay.
It goes wide eventually, which is good. I was gonna say I really wouldn't recommend doing that the whole time, especially if this is not a short. But yeah, so those are kind of my like initial thoughts.
Can you jump to another one of those vertical sections? I'm wondering if what they're doing is plugging in clips from like their Instagram, Facebook account, along with then landscape recording to create this blog.
Positive thinking can have a range of both physical and mental benefits. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. We do have a longer weekend since it's President's Day.
It kind of feels like that, doesn't it? I feel as if this could be a collection of clips combined together. Let's now look at one of the landscape bits.
Oh, bits. Sorry, I thought you meant videos. Okay.
Because right, what's going on here? Then?
Fire King wear on the bottom, and then finally is this little planter.
Now, this is where I will talk about the camera.
Very more traditional vloggy stuff to me.
Yeah, I will talk about the camera here a little bit. I'm, as a viewer, a little bit put off by how close it's zoomed in on everything.
yeah, that's a fair point.
I wouldn't normally say this or pick on it, but because they mentioned holding the camera and things like that, yeah, I do think zooming out would be helpful here. Just because you're showing off these little items and stuff, and I can't even see, like, you just put this cup down on this plate, and I can't even see the full plate or the cup or anything because it's just so zoomed in. So I would do that. I don't think I'm bothered by much else. The lighting feels good and everything. It's definitely the being super zoomed in and stuff like that. Even this, when you're trying to show off the product itself, like I can't even see the full box. So you have to way back out. So I would work on that. I think it's a little bit distracting. But that's only because you mentioned you're trying to like figure out better ways to hold the camera. I think zooming out, you could even stabilize your camera with like a little gimbal arm that holds your phone and just have it just stuck to your desk. That's another thing you could do. If you don't feel like holding the phone, you want to focus on moving products around and stuff, you could even switch between holding the phone sometimes and doing that sometimes. So there's different options. You might invest in that as well. But let's talk about
let's zoom out, shall we?
Now we're going to zoom out. Yeah. Let's talk about the channel itself, because there's a couple things. Like, first of all, this video here, I was kind of surprised, like, given the type of channel, that this is like my first introduction to you, where it's half a video kind of about positive affirmations, and then the other half we get into the stuff that you're kind of known for. But it makes me kind of wonder, like, well, who's this kind of for? Because I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe this is just because I'm not a very positive person, but I click on this video and it's like positive affirmations, and then also here's like tips for selling these products on eBay, and it's two different things to me. I'm not. What if I just want to see the second part? I feel like it's like two separate videos here.
None of the eBay selling appears to be in the packaging either.
Yeah,
from what I can tell. Stop negative thinking, positive self-talk. You can do it. what's that? Plus VTG Firekurg? What's that bit of text at the very bottom of a
Let's
thumbnail?
talk Fire King.
What is that? I have no idea.
I have no idea what Fire King is.
So I think, yes, Dan, there is this challenge of the creator staying, as Red 5 said, or whoever, Star Wars, stay on target, of the eBay reselling. But then also, as I just mentioned in this thumbnail, there is so much text and images and things to look at. But I'm really struggling to get a grasp of the things I should be thinking about in terms of positive thinking and these affirmations.
Yeah.
We look at any of these videos on the top row. You've got 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at the second thumbnail now. You've got 3 different bits of text. You got a mannequin, you got a bag, you got 3 books, you got some jewelry, you've got some people on the right hand side, I think. I'm not entirely sure. And we're looking at these fairly large thumbnails.
Yeah.
Most people are going to see these thumbnails at maybe a third of the size. So what I would encourage the creator to think about for the packaging going forward, beyond like making sure that they stay on the topic of eBay reselling, which I think is essentially the channel as a whole, is simplifying these thumbnails.
Mhm.
And the way I would do that is like, all of the stuff you've got on here now, for your next thumbnail, I want you to have half as much. And then another thumbnail after that, I want you to have half as much again, because I think we really do need to get these thumbnails down to 2 or 3 elements. Yeah, they resemble the cover of a magazine, and a person in a newsagent's looking at a magazine will give that front cover maybe 20 seconds before then, and another couple of minutes reading a magazine. On YouTube, you get barely 2 seconds. I think it's measured at 1.7 seconds attention span you get on a thumbnail on average. And these thumbnails are just not going to pass that a glance test.
So we saw that apparently Fire King is like a certain type of China or something. Thank you, vintage type of China. So I mean, to me, a stronger video title and thumbnail would have been, and they could still do this. Sell like how I sold all of my Fire King China or something to that effect. I'm not using the right terminology probably because this is not the type of channel I'd watch.
How to upsell Fire King China, and then like
right, something like that. And then
an image of one item, one Fire King China piece of item, and like plus $100 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then they could try a version of them in the thumbnail with it and not in the thumbnail. Like keep it nice and simple. But when the closest resemblance to channels like this that I actually watch would be people who sell because I kind of started getting back into like Pokemon card trading and stuff. I've been watching people who sell cards for like a living, right? They have like a distributor and all this stuff, and so they will film their videos in their kind of like either warehouse or part of their home where they keep all of their stock, and the thumbnails are them standing in front of sometimes a shelf full of boxes, or you can see behind them. It kind of looks familiar because you can see the different products that you kind of remember from seeing at Target or sometimes or something, and then like the video is really focused on for the channels I'm thinking of, specifically helping people start their own businesses if they want to sell trading cards and things like that. And each video, they'll talk about a personal experience they had or something, but it's always with that audience in mind of, okay, the people who are watching me are here because they want to know about how they can start their own trading card selling, operation like I have. So they always kind of approach every video from that perspective. And I'm not saying you're not doing that, but it's just because our first introduction to you was a video that kind of like deviated from that right away. I don't know how often your videos do that. I know here you kind of like a year in report as a vintage reseller. That could be all kinds of things. Maybe you deviate in that one. I have no idea, but that's oh, you're here. Cool. Thank you for joining us live. So yeah, that is like my initial take, is just keeping that audience in mind. I'm here because I want to learn how I can resell things on eBay. And
none of us did to begin with retrospects. You're in the same boat as all of us. Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is just Rob and I. Like I don't watch content like this. It doesn't sound like Rob does either. So this is just our opinion as kind of layman's to the space. But it also helps, I think, to have that third person perspective, like someone coming in with fresh eyes who is completely detached from what you're doing and says like, oh, well, if it were me, I guess I would do it this way if I had a channel like this. And so that's all we're trying to do here. So yeah, I do hope you found that helpful. And any other final thoughts here?
Yeah, I would say the video in the top right-hand corner, you look at the title there, I got a bad review on eBay. That's all that title needs. And you just focus on that story. Cool. You might also talk about how to safely pack plates, how to get freebies. Leave that for the internals of the vlog. Like focus on the big story on that vlog and simplify around that. So
I'll go a step further because the video is 47 minutes long, almost 48 minutes long. I'll say this. I would love to see just the story about the bad eBay review and have it be like 8 to 10 minutes long.
That is very relatable, I think, to your audience.
Because I think any eBay seller, regardless of what they're doing, is probably, it's probably one of their biggest fears. I know that like having a couple bad reviews can certainly change my opinion of an eBay seller. So I think if you were to talk about that and how you either overcame it or what your next steps are or whatever, that alone is a whole video. And maybe you're uploading a lot. I think you could probably have even more videos in your coffers if you kind of broke some of these up, because that to me is such a juicy, I didn't even see that before. Such a juicy topic just on its own.
I was the same, Dan. It took us a while to pick out that, but that is like that's, as you said, really juicy for this creator's topic and their pain points of their ideal viewer.
Yeah. I mean, we covered YouTube front, back, and center, and we could make videos that were a lot longer covering every facet of it all the time, but we've found it's more impactful to focus on like one specific topic that day and post a video about that. And if we want to post more videos, we'll just kind of decide which ones are the most timely, and we'll get those ones out the soonest, and we'll decide which ones are more evergreen, and we'll go, okay, let's get this one out a few weeks from now, but it's a really good topic. We're excited to do it. So yeah.
To summarize then, I think holding the camera is problem 73 or whatever on the list. Like packaging, titles, thumbnails, channel focus, those are your problem 1, 2, and 3, I think, at the moment.
I agree.
All right. Challenges. I don't want to use the word problems. Like the next thing to tackle as a creator.
Yes. So retrospects, thank you so much for submitting. Congratulations on almost a year on YouTube, 100 subscribers. A lot of people here take a lot longer to get to 100 subscribers. I mean, this is a big achievement. So thank you for sharing and good luck. Next, we're looking at the first gaming channel of the day, which is HTGHunter. They have almost 5,000 subscribers, 1,000 videos, and that is a lot. Yep. And we do have 2 separate forums for gaming and non-gaming because we just get that many. This is just gaming channels right now. So we like to break them up a little bit. We have a few things from them. So they want to create funny, entertaining gaming content. That's the goal of their channel. Right now, they feel like their biggest obstacle is keeping people past the first 30 seconds, and they would like us to look at intro and hook.
Yep. All right.
I do have thoughts about these thumbnails as well, but yeah, let's look at the latest one here.
Okay, so this game literally drove us insane. All right, it's a clear title.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm expecting
Zort, episode 1.
Expecting some.
I'm friends with the monsters that are under my bed. I need help. 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 Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be playing a game called Zort with my friends Guitar and AG Demiurge. How do I even describe this game? To put it simply, it's a story.
All right, so I can't take any more of squat twerking or whatever the hell that is. Right then. So, do you think the first 10 seconds delivered enough on driving the plays of this game insane? Because in my frank opinion, I was just left a little lost at what was being communicated to me.
I don't think it demonstrated insanity as I would expect it in a game like this, but I think it demonstrated kind of funny moments in general.
Right. Yeah.
I think opening with you singing and then like the second clip of your friend being dragged away. I think these are funny moments. I'm personally not a fan of intros like this, but I don't talk about it too much because I know a lot of people use them, and I don't think they're a death sentence to a video by any stretch, right? I would actually watch that. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I like the energy behind what's going on here. I do. I'm not a big fan of intros like this overall. I kind of would rather just know, especially if it's a game I've never heard of, I kind of would just want to know what the game is. So we introduce the other hosts in the video, and we start to, about 20 seconds in, talk about what the game actually is.
Right.
And that to me, if I am worried about the first 30 seconds and it's a game I've never heard of Zort before, okay? It looks like it's probably somewhat popular, but I've never heard of it. I would like to know sooner. And a lot of gaming creators that I watch these days, it starts with a kind of an intro where they've already scripted about the first 10 to 15 seconds where they're like, today we're playing Zort with so and so and so and so. Zort is about blah 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 blah. Anyway, enjoy. So it kind of like tells me very quickly what I'm gonna get. And then you can start to do the funny, twerking bits and things like that. And let's get into, we've already introduced everybody, so now you don't have to spend as much time on that part. And you can actually start to get into the gameplay. So since they are specifically focused on this first 30 seconds, that would be my critique, is get to the point of the thing faster, especially if it's a game that is brand new and we've just never heard of before.
Again, just to offer maybe another approach, my assumption when I see a title along the lines of "This game literally drove us insane" is a clip from the game, which is either them dying at a crucial moment or a glitch that just prevents them from achieving what they need to achieve, and them reacting to it on camera, like throwing a keyboard or smashing a mouse. I know that does sound quite traditional, like a standard way of hooking somebody in, but that's my perceived expectation from the title. And again, just from what I saw, the intro that I saw, I was left more confused than I was being led into their experience of the game.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page. I also, this is why I want to talk about the thumbnails too and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of like branding these thumbnails.
Yeah,
and I
they
think
stand out. Like,
yeah, I think they're nice and
vomit
clear
green and yellow.
to
I'll
read.
turn up.
Yeah, like this is a character from the game. It's a Zort. There's some blood on your like kind of like green yellow background you use. All that's fine. I think, objectively speaking, there's nothing wrong with the image itself. But when it comes to the thumbnail and the video, I feel like delivering on the insane part is just as important in the thumbnail as it is in that intro that we talked about. And we're not getting that either. But when I put my mouse on it, I'm already getting the vibe of what this game kind of looks like and what it reminds me of just from this right here. So I think it would have been more powerful to use a screenshot that was taken in the game itself rather than this heavily edited kind of thumbnail you have. And this is where I'll always say, if you don't agree with me or you're scared of taking a risk on such a dramatically different thumbnail, this is why I love thumbnail testing, because you can say, all right, I'll try the vidIQ guy's suggestion.
Yeah, all right, Dan.
Yeah, okay, Dan, whatever.
Dan's thumbnail a shot. Don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and just see the results. Try it for a few videos where you do a thumbnail that is still edited, like you can put text on it and stuff, but it's a screenshot within the game, so it gives me game vibes. And then try your version of it. It just so if you're worried about your branding messing things up, and YouTube will tell you which one got more watch time and which one resulted in more clicks by proxy. So that's, I mean, you've been doing this thumbnail style for a while, and sometimes it does pay off. Sometimes we have, but I feel like with Call of Duty, it's a more popular game, and I don't need.
That was a nice little run, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't need to be reminded of what it looks like as much, because it's like I know what Call of Duty looks like, and your text is provocative, so that could be helping there. So I don't. Yeah, like content warning. That's another game that kind of reminds me of the one we just looked at. This is not a good demonstration of it, but yeah, it kind of has that same 3D kind of weird environment vibe. I think unless the game is really, really popular, it would be better, especially if you're introducing someone to a game that's a lot newer, to like, show some kind of clip from the game. So show a screenshot from the game. So I can already start to sense that, oh, this is kind of like Lethal Company or, those types of games.
Can we sort by most popular, Dan? I don't want to do the usual trick of like, oh, well, you should just be doing this type of content. I'm just curious of anything that's, because look, they've been doing this for 9 years. Goodness.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 videos, 9 years. It's a lot of time and effort that they've put in. So we kind of discount anything that's over a year old. And the most popular video, back on the top row, from 9 months ago is content warning. You know, as you said, that's very provocative language kind of being teased. So that might be why that got some clicks. But yeah, it looks as if they have been at this for a long time without really building any traction. I don't have the answers here as to what they should just kind of start completely new on. Have we any thoughts there, Dan, other than the things that we've mentioned? Because I'm trying to think, like, should there be do more tutorials? Should there be just doing all of these, like a new game every single week, playing it with my friends, and then trying to, I guess, edit it into a 10 to 20 minute video?
I think there should be some kind of through line. I don't think it's tutorials. I think it's more.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I think it's more like focusing on games like this one. So like Lethal Company and Content Warning and Zort, like these are of like a certain category, like almost horror games that are like co-op horror. I don't know what you would call this category. I don't play games like this, but I know they're very popular and they're great if you have friends that you record with. I would just make sure you're sticking to that. Maybe Party Animals kind of fits in there, but it's a lot different. It's more of like it's almost like Super Smash Bros. It's kind of a totally different environment. So I don't know. I would stick to what you enjoy the most, first and foremost, and what gives you the most inspiration to make fun videos with your friends. And I would be testing different packaging ultimately. I mean, the packaging in the popular section, there's like words and stuff being used in the thumbnails I would not personally recommend using, but they were working. And I think that those thumbnails worked because they were more provocative and gave you a better idea of what the video was about. Whereas the thumbnails you use these days, we're not getting much. We're just not getting much in the way of like, what's the video? What's going to happen? And so that feels like their biggest obstacle. We know they're capable of getting thousands of views when they have like different packaging.
Word. Shall we move on to self-indulgent gaming corner, Dan?
Sure.
Where you as a community talk about what you've been doing to disconnect from YouTube for some relaxation. For many people, that is video gaming, but some of you may not be into video gaming. You might be reading or riding a bike, going for a long walk. Do let us know in the comments, because we're going to kind of disconnect from YouTube for 2 or 3 minutes to talk about what's been occupying our time. Dan, as always, I'd like you to go first, and you just tell us that you're playing like one of 4 games on rotation for the last decade. That being Skyrim, Stardew Valley, and I can't remember the other 2.
No,
No Man's Sky is another one.
No Man's Sky sometimes falls in there. Yeah. No, still mostly just kind of playing World of Warcraft and stuff.
Oh yeah, because this is your I'm planning for next year's release or something, right?
Yeah. So I've been doing that a little bit, but I'm starting to already get a little bit like, So I don't know. I'll need to find a new game soon. I'm boring. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, well, whoever, Vicky, Dan, you can select some more people on what they're doing. I am continuing to play Cult of the Lamb, which I'm really enjoying. I'm really getting into it. And the thing I like about it most is you have to keep the faith up of your followers. And so you do sermons. And after every sermon, all of the little characters who are following you make this really cute noise. I think I need to maybe sound effect that voice, that noise next time. I just find it really cute. Like, I've preached my teachings for today, and they'll go, and then life continues. Some of them die. I sacrifice some of them, and they still go, They're always mildly satisfied by whatever rituals I do. I think I'll be playing that for at least another week. So that is my distraction, Cult of the Lamb.
That one might finally make it onto my rotation for a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. I've been wanting to play it.
It is addictive because there's a lot of village management, and so like you complete a task and you think, I've got all of these things to do at my village, and then someone gives you a mission and think, I've got to go do that for 5 minutes. So like you think you're going to finish, and then 20 minutes later you're still playing it, much to the annoyance and frustration of my wife, who wants to finish her episode of Love Island's Celebrity All Stars or whatever it's called
without listening to sacrifices of your villagers. Glad they're gone. Okay, well, there you go. Thank you for sharing what you do to disconnect from YouTube. It's very important.
Watching YouTube, by the way, someone said I watch I show speed. That isn't disconnecting from YouTube.
Well,
in my
helps
opinion.
if you're watching purely for entertainment value and you're not trying to be in strategy mode, it's anything to get you out of like strategy mode to recharge that battery. Super important.
Watching vidIQ is definitely not disconnecting from
it's the opposite.
Not at all.
We're glad you're watching vidIQ.
Sure.
Don't get us wrong. But
continue to watch us 24/7.
Yeah, we are going to make sure you don't disconnect from the strategy side of YouTube. That's like our whole job. So definitely take some time for yourself so that you can come back with a fresh perspective and you don't burn out. That's really why we do this segment right here. So you don't burn out. Okay, let's go back to channels though.
Yeah, let's
risk some burnout. You won N5. It was the channel that Rob picked before the stream went live. Tell us about it.
So this channel is basically pretty much brand new to YouTube. Like this feels like I'm going to start a new channel on 2025, maybe a bit before that, maybe end of last year. And Dan, do you have the comments? The things. It was channel 40, if you remember. Just read them out.
So we go to channel 40
to remind ourselves. And so they want to have a channel to pay for products, which I think is the desire of many a tech channel. They have low click-through rates and they want us to look at their packaging. So I think we should do that to kick off this channel. And my initial assessment is that to begin with, Dan, if you scroll down to the bottom, they were basically taking a picture of the product with a bit of text. And if I was to critique that, the lighting isn't fantastic, especially with tech videos. You need even lighting across all of the thumbnail. And then, red text on thumbnails, we'll always talk about that as being typically a negative unless you know how to use red text on thumbnails. Some of them don't have a stroke effect, so they're more difficult to read, etc., etc. But we look at the top row of videos, they've done something completely new. And they've introduced a stickman character, which is the protagonist of the videos. And this looks more basic, but at the same time, it's something a little different and a little fresh, perhaps, when you're on a homepage. And I would just encourage the creator at this point to not worry too much. I know this is very hard to do, but not worry too much about a click-through rate number and just focus on this idea of consistency and uniqueness, which I think you're starting to develop as a YouTube muscle. And, we are seeing a bit of improvement in the view counts more recently. 200 views, 80 views, that seems to be like above average for you. It may be that the click-through rate is lower because YouTube is sharing these videos with more people. You've got a higher impressions rate. So I think at the moment, especially when it's such a small sample size, you can really get tied up on something like click-through rate. And I feel as if you need a bigger audience and more videos in your catalog to really start focusing on that number specifically. But yeah, Dan, what do you think before maybe we jump into the videos? Because I do want to talk about that for a few moments as well afterwards.
Yeah, I pretty much would agree with everything you've put out there so far. The lighting of some of these thumbnails, it feels like more of a hostage situation because it's like one light. So it always looks like you're just holding something in like a dark dungeon. And
you keep making jokes just as I drink something, Dan. You got to be really careful with that.
You're going to need a tech channel to replace all of your peripherals. So I'm glad they got away from this, but I do think if they feel like doing thumbnails like this, just at least one more light, something to get rid of this really striking kind of shadow on everything. It makes it have that vibe to it. But ultimately, yeah, this is more unique. And I think when it comes to tech, like these nostalgia kind of videos or the ones that are more fantastical, like an AI toaster, this makes sense. But I do feel like there'll be times where if they want to review something more modern, it will make more sense to be in the thumbnail with the product or have the product kind of be the focus of the thumbnail. So this is great for especially for only a couple months. It's good that they're kind of like testing all kinds of things. You'll start to get some data on the things that work, things that don't, and especially you'll start to get some data for yourself on like what your capabilities are as like a thumbnail designer, and you'll kind of identify areas you want to improve. And I would just keep sharpening those skills overall so that you can have that kind of, you know, all those tools in your toolbox, whether it's animating characters and putting them on thumbnails or just taking these more standard tech thumbnails where it's just showing off a product.
I think you made a really good point there, Dan, as well, about the topic shift, in that they've gone from reviewing speakers and headphones and phone cases maybe, and this type of tech that everybody has access to, or you are often offered this by random Chinese tech companies just wanting to give stuff away to anybody who will review it. And so there is this barrier to tech entry that this creator has, in that they maybe can't afford a Galaxy S25 Ultra at the moment. And so instead of trying to review, let's say, non-sexy tech products, they've moved to this idea of nostalgic conversation, which opens them up to all sorts of interesting stories. And I think that that topic shift has actually helped them as well with the view counts. Not all have worked. The AI marketing has gone wrong. I think there's an interest there of AI toaster. Like, I like the idea there. Maybe just the packaging needs to be reverse engineered or something.
What if you took a toaster and just duct taped your phone onto it and then had ChatGPT open on your phone?
That's a good idea. Anyway, can we watch the most recent video, maybe the first 10 to 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Give some feedback there.
The ones, school tech. We all know what it is. If you've been to school in the last 20 years, chances are you had a laptop, or if you're especially young, maybe a tablet. Either way, it's something that we all have memories of, and it could create some really fun and unexpected moments. Chromebooks. Can we please all agree that these things were just terrible?
Whoa, stop right there. I actually happen to really like Chromebooks. I was a big fan of them for a long time, but now I don't have one.
Oh,
but look, for just internet browsers, cheap internet browsers, I thought they were pretty cool. All right, Dan, what are your thoughts here?
I don't mind the like channels like this that use kind of a character as the proxy for like a person. That's
faceless
fine.
channel,
This is a lot of the character, and I feel like if you're not going to be in there yourself, that's okay. But I would like to see more images of the tech we're talking about, because I'm not getting much out of watching the character talk.
It's bland, isn't it? I think, given the AI technology now, characters like this need to do more, like facially, emotionally, more animation. So, and again, let's just be conscious of the fact that I think this is the fourth video the creator's done with this Stickman character. But like by video 25 with this Stickman, we probably want to see a lot more animation, because it's bland, and it's bland in a non-sarcastic way, so it kind of lacks interest.
Yeah, it's close. There's definitely something here, and I've definitely seen this work in the past. So I would make part of your skill set as you build onto your channel and just you build yourself up as a creator. I would make part of your skill set into getting better at animating this character and trying to determine how much is too much. Because even a well animated character, it could just be kind of boring to watch them stand there and yap.
True. Yeah,
you know, all the things you're saying are helpful for the script, but they're just, for the lack of B-roll, it's kind of like, okay, I'll make my character stand there for this 10-second moment and just have it yap, and I just kind of start to glaze over a little bit. So that's not like a dig at your animation style or anything. I really think it would be the same if the character was like Nickelodeon levels of like animated, you know?
Now, I thought the voiceover was cool. Like that was very audible, and it's clear that they're either scripting their content or just a very good narrator. Maybe it could have needed just like a bit more pace or emotion, but that'll come in time. So, you know, again, for a channel that's just started out, 12 videos, 25 subscribers, they've already had a couple of breakthrough videos that have got more than 100 views. I think you're on pace here for an exciting YouTube journey, and just keep doing this, keep reinventing and refreshing your content when you have new ideas, and like come back to us in 6 months and let's see where you are.
Absolutely. So that is U1N5. Good luck to you. We're going to take a look at a Facebook. Well, I'm always hesitant to say like contest. It's not really a contest. We gave you an opportunity to get a channel review on Facebook, and the link is down below if you want to join our Facebook group. This time it was to make a birthday card for YouTube because it is their 20th anniversary.
It was on Friday, Valentine's Day. And do we know why, everybody in the classroom, why February the 14th was the day YouTube got founded?
We'll
Can't
let
hear anyone.
folks answer that.
Can't hear
While
anyone.
I go over to the winning card, which was best wishes for 20 more years of success. Happy birthday, YouTube. This was from Revelation Quilts. And so it's kind of clever to use quilts as the background.
There we go. Right answer.
As the background of your card. So we will take a look at Revelation Quilts, who has 31,000 subscribers, 69 videos, and they've been at this for some time. If we go to oldest, 3 years ago. So this is
Are we all
great
glad
progress.
that YouTube decided not to just be a dating app? Like, because none of us would be. Well, we'd all be on YouTube for like 3 months and feel, well, this is a waste of time.
There'd be something else, right?
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Revelation Quilt Stand, 30,000 subscribers, 70 videos. What? Does this require research? So is this the most popular content here? Or
No, this is latest. This is most popular.
Okay. Okay, cool. Couple of 100,000 view videos there. Oh, they must have had some shorts that have got millions of views. There's my pitch. Oh, maybe just delete some videos. All right. Okay, so we'll concentrate on the long form videos. And this isn't a form filled in entry, isn't it? So we're not sure exactly what they want us to look at. But I guess if we were going to take a punt here, it is the star of the channel, which are the quilts. And do the quilts come across strongly enough in the thumbnails for us to say, as a quilt enthusiast, I want to learn more about this video? And I'm not sure if I've hit that just yet with effort. I think what I would address really are the backgrounds, Dan. I'm seeing some canvas style starburst backgrounds, or like just colored backgrounds, which I'm not sure if they contrast well with the quilt itself.
Right.
Could almost the quilt be in like a state of use or folded up, where you're not seeing it as like a square image almost. You're seeing like, it seemed like it almost in use. So it has that kind of more natural, authentic feel. I think this is where we maybe need to do some research on quilt thumbnails. So
yeah,
what should we search
I was going to
for?
say, just because I want to point this out real quick. This many subscribers makes sense to me when you see how consistent they are getting over 10,000 views on their videos.
That is incredible.
That starts to tell the story a lot. I think they're very dominant in this niche. It's probably not a very big niche full of competition. There's probably a big barrier to entry here. The interest in quilting and then having the skill set to make such awesome designs. So there's a lot going on here that's right, I think. But yeah, we could say like, trying to look at their titles.
Quilting for beginners.
Quilting for beginners. Sure.
All right. So Dan, you see, I don't know about you, but I feel these have more like a more authentic, natural look that I want to see in a thumbnail when I'm interested in this topic. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Again, this is where we say, let's do some A/B testing on whether or not your current thumbnail style works, or a new style may be more appropriate.
Yeah, and these thumbnails, like the lighting is like so
correct,
bright and even, and it's yes, I agree. Now I was going to say like the thumbnails they're doing were working pretty well, but yet these feel like the next step in your thumbnail.
I mean, these are getting hundreds of thousands of views, so I think there is opportunity for a broader reach, and it probably is in the packaging.
I'd be proud. You were a dominant channel in this space.
Yeah.
But now we've just seen, just from one search, the potential of where you can like aim to be as well.
Like when you look at the most recent thumbnail, can you tell immediately that that is a quilt? Other than, I know it says quilt tutorial, fair enough. But if you were just looking at the quilt on the right-hand side, that to me, unless I really put some effort into thinking about it, could be a Windows desktop background, for example. That's kind of what some of these look like a little bit. They don't immediately look like quilts, and it looks more like crafting, like maybe like a card design that you would have, rather than a quilt that's been sewn.
By the way,
Yeah,
I used the word
also
dominant,
an
and someone's saying they're middle of the road. Like, okay, I get that they are like literally like in the middle of the niche, given their view counts. They're not the lowest viewed channel. They're not the highest viewed. Sorry for using the word dominant, but I will say,
I mean, I would
compared
argue
to-
with 70 videos, they are doing a pretty dominant introduction to themselves in this niche.
they're doing better than somebody.
All right, let's agree on that, shall we?
They have headroom to expand more.
Yeah.
This is a really strong performance. I'm just trying to highlight that. This is awesome. This is a really comfortable place to be in your niche. If you are coming to us and saying, how can I do better? This is like, we're already able to say, well, you're doing a really good job. But yes, we're noticing room for improvement. So exactly, yes. So I want to look at the videos themselves, because I think we've touched on the thumbnails a lot. There's we believe it's worth trying. Ouch.
Well, all right, then now I can finally use this sound effect, and it's appropriate.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
By our own community. All right, everybody. All right, let's just hold on for a second.
This is perfect. Just know, everybody, the people who we're looking at, the channels we're looking at, they could be here watching, and they could be reading chat and seeing how people are reacting to their channel. So maybe be supportive and not that, anyway. Let's take
we say that with Savage on our roster.
Yes. Well, yeah. We're hostage to that.
All right. Let's go.
Let's take a look at the video itself.
Hey everybody, Sue's here from Revelation Quilts. Check out this awesome masterpiece behind me.
Just pause it for a second.
Super
Just pause it for a second. I don't know why this is always a bugbear, but do you think the creator is looking at the camera lens or the viewfinder?
They're looking at the viewfinder for sure.
Yeah. I don't know why, but this is probably just a creator thing, but I always spot it when the creator's doing that.
So the difference is I'm looking at the lens, I'm looking at the viewfinder. I'm looking at the lens, I'm looking at the viewfinder. So the viewfinder being the thing that shows you. You're kind of looking at yourself rather than the audience. Just a little thing.
I know I'm really guilty as well, because I'm just looking at my monitor here as it's playing. So I'm not even looking at my own lens.
Yeah, we do this all the time. It's not
Screw
like
you, Rob.
It's not a big deal. But
start eating your own dog food.
It's something that people will notice. I love the energy coming out of this right away.
Yeah.
A quick welcome to the channel, and they're in front of the thing they're going to be talking about today. Look at this quilt. Like, this is really cool.
Excited to show you how to make this. There is a written pattern available if you're interested at revelationquilts.com, and I'm super excited to show
you could have added a little call to action there with a link in the description if you wanted to get people on a mailing list.
Well, yeah,
it's there, so they could have just maybe pushed it a little bit. And I think on a video like this, you do have the license to do that call to action early. If you're saying like, we're going to be showing you how to make this quilt, but we've also got the pattern guide as a downloadable PDF in the description as well, if you want to check it out.
So for this project, I'm going to...
I was about to say that I didn't like it, but it was... I think we just got away with it there, Dan, because it was like 3 seconds. It's like, all right, you can have your little intro there.
I was going to say that was as long as I would ever make that. And it was it was used as a transition, which is even better.
Mm-hmm. Charm packs of a darker color and 4 charm packs of a lighter color. For my darker color, I have 4 charm packs from Robert Kaufman. It's the Gustav Klimt collection. And I chose these.
This feels very informative.
Yeah, I mean, we're into it now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're kind of telling people.
20-second introduction. Let's go make this quilt.
Right. We're telling people what to get, why you got it. You're showing off all the different products here. That goes on for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we get into like actual starting to like make the shapes. they're going to be making. So this is in depth. This is a really in-depth tutorial, and I love that you're also bouncing back out of that tutorial mode
Yeah, let's
to
watch
show
that bit.
like a progress update on the quilt as well. So this is really, I would say this is really strong stuff. I love the way this video is edited. I believe that you are probably considered someone who's very, very helpful and easy to follow if you are into this hobby. So I don't know. Anything else to add?
The cadence looks to be about once a month, and I would probably argue that that's the cadence they can move at because of the complexity of these videos. Maybe you could investigate how you can turn these into shorts more frequently, because I think we had a look at the shorts done and they'd only done 3. Now it's just an opportunity to reach a wider audience on a more regular basis, but I don't want you to distract from your long form videos. I maybe might ask the question of these videos that are approximately 15 to 20 minutes long. Are there any self-contained moments in these videos that could be turned into tutorials in themselves? So like people have maybe quick 3-minute, 5-minute guides on a certain type of quilting technique. That might be worth something investigating as well. So that maybe turns your cadence into twice a month. But let's say it's the make any pre-cut fabric dance with this 3D quilt is video 1. And then there is a portion of that video, like a 3 or 4 minute important section of it that can be turned into a video itself, with just like a new intro, new outro. I think there might be an opportunity there. Otherwise, yeah, just the things we talked about with the thumbnail testing would be my approach here.
I do think that the one thing you could try with shorts too is a satisfaction approach, where you have a sped up version of you just putting the pieces in place. And you cut out all the parts where you're kind of looking at the camera and explaining what you just did. And it literally looks like a time lapse of the quilt kind of coming together. And that could be really interesting to watch for anybody who is just into like watching something come to life from nothing, right? Like I would watch a video like that, and I'm not a quilt person. So that's like a really great use of shorts, but it is a different audience. Understand that people who watch that probably are not going to be going to your website to get the different templates and things like that. It's literally just like you reaching more people with a slightly different content style. It's an opportunity, but yes, it could be distracting too.
I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell here, I think, Dan. So if you just want to summarize this video, and then I'll be back in a moment.
All right. Well, I literally finished everything I was going to say about the channel and the video, so I don't have a summary. But I'll just kind of ramble a bit while Rob comes back. It looks like you're also doing live streams a year ago. Okay. This feels like a really good way to kind of like work on a project and also interact with your fans, and you can maybe take that footage and use it in videos. It looks like you stopped after a while, so not a big deal. You don't have to go this route if this is not something that you're interested in doing. But it can be repurposed as well, since we're looking at like ways to repurpose. So here we go. Welcome back.
All right. So this quilting channel just reminded me of a gift I got give me full screen. When I got married. One of our relatives quilted this thing. It's massive. Like I don't know how to show all of it, but they quilted in pictures of us. And look, basically, it's just lots of Jasper. So you can see Jasper here and there and everywhere. That's me, I think. Actually, going back to an early part of the live stream, that's Jasper preventing me from using a Chromebook at the time. He liked to lean on the keyboards. But yeah, I think the person who made this, it took them about like 2 or 3. I think it was like from the moment we got engaged, it took them about 18 months to make this quilt. Like they are such intricate things. So yeah, I don't know why. I just wanted to show people that as a like a reminder of quilting, which is just an incredible thing that people do as gifts. So yeah, there we are.
Yeah,
we can
awesome.
move on now.
So
I've got to put this somewhere now, so Jasper doesn't steal it when comes into the room.
those were our pre-selected channels, which means we're about to get into random selection for channels. I'll just get back to this screen. And we will first look at some of the super chats and things like that before we get into that. Keep in mind, we don't have too much time to answer too many more super chats, so don't but Koifish gifted membership earlier, so thank you, Koifish. Very, very loud.
That sounded irritatingly loud, that, didn't it? I do apologize.
And we have one from here from Lovely Fishing Rod, who says, my views are mostly low RPM countries. Is there a way to make YouTube recommend my videos to higher RPM countries by changing description or title?
I wouldn't say so. It feels really meta when creators start to think about how they can manipulate the location that their content is consumed in. I think the honest truth is that you just have a lot of fans in that country who love your content. I wouldn't try to alienate them if I can. I'm guessing then, like, the countries that you want to get traffic from are America, Europe, Scandinavia. Like, those are the big CPM countries, RPM countries. So the answer to that is that you try and reference more cultural things that are going to appeal to that audience, but at the same time, you've got to be really careful with your existing audience. I realize that can be a challenge, and also it just again demonstrates the unreliability of passive income, which is ad revenue. So I would be thinking about, if you are a fishing channel, let's think about how you can sell products to those people. So like, it feels like it's a dirty phrase whenever I use this, Dan, but it's like monetizing your community rather than monetizing your content. And I think almost all successful channels on YouTube eventually have to explore that avenue of content creation to build a business around their channel, and not just have YouTube's reliance and that, that switch that they can flick on and off at their will, and you're completely at mercy to it.
I mean, the channel we just looked at has different templates and things and a website, and they could have a newsletter, they could do all kinds of stuff.
Brilliant reference.
Yeah, there are opportunities like that. Just provide value, though. Don't just sell anything. But maybe you have an idea for a fishing lure or something that you can like sell, or something like that that relates to your audience. I was going to say, I know nothing about fishing, of course, but is it because the type of fish that you typically catch, maybe based on where you are located in the world, maybe those fish are really prevalent in other parts of the world, and so you're attracting an audience like, there's a lot of this type of fish here, and this channel is catching those fish. I don't know. It could just be literally because it's nature. It could be that's what's dictating who's seeing your content, because of the certain things that you're using or nature that you're interacting with. That could be like even more prevalent in certain regions, and that could be part of the reason. But we're not looking at the channel right now, so I'm just shooting in the dark here. But that's something that occurred to me as well. Everyday with Bruno has a question. What is the best information to put in the description? Does it matter?
Good
question.
I want to caveat my answer with, this feels more like an opinion at this point rather than fact. And I will defer to Todd's opinion on the basis that the title and the thumbnail are 99% of the importance of the SEO, and the description is of minimal importance. I think also the argument is that something in a description can be of relevance when you're a smaller channel and YouTube doesn't have that much data on you. But I'll give you a brief rundown of what we include in our descriptions. We always have a call to action at the very top of the description, because we want the viewer to take action in some description, and that in our case is to download our tools. Then I have a very SEO laden description of the video, which is something along the lines of, YouTube has just launched some YouTube updates that are going to be of real importance to YouTube creators, viewers, and advertisers. So let's dig into these YouTube updates for 2025 to see how they impact creators, viewers, advertisers. I will confess, I've just resorted to that And it's like one of the last things I do when I'm making my video, because like the really important things, the title, description, the hook, I'm focusing all of my time and energy on them. Then links to our social media platforms, timestamps. I think timestamps are very important because they act as a final check for you to make sure that there's no errors in the video and YouTube hasn't screwed anything up. So I think adding time chapters is important for that reason. And then hashtags, which we use 3 hashtags, which are always exactly the same, pretty much. And that is a rundown of our description. But Dan, I'd love to hear if you think differently about the importance of descriptions.
Yeah, so I think that this right here is the most SEO that I'm willing to do, and I also think that this is a practice that was more relevant at a time and is less relevant today.
Yeah.
What I would avoid doing is what I still see people do to this day, which is put a bunch of tags in their description, like which is just literally keyword stuffing at the bottom of the description, like word, comma, word, comma. That doesn't do anything, and YouTube discourages that behavior. I don't think it matters that much. What I think matters more is giving people the most relevant information, which is what we feel like we're doing here with ours. So the very first thing in our description that lives above the fold, which is to say it's how do we show less.
Yeah.
You only really get the first 2 lines before you have to expand the description. So what is the most important, crucial information we want people to have? Well, for us, we have a tool, and you can download those tools and try them out. So that's the first link here. And then in this case, since Rob was mentioning a conversation that happened with Todd about the YouTube algorithm, Todd Bupre, who works at YouTube, that was the next most important piece of information to put in the top of the description. Everything else, if you're trying to follow us on Blue Sky or whatever, I guess we got to add that, or Facebook or whatever it is, then boom, you can find that here. Chapters, of course, which will already be, you need them somewhere in the description to show up here. So chapters are already here. YouTube knows that people aren't going in here a whole lot. So this is for people who are really looking for something specific. I've used these a lot when I want to see who's credited in the video in case like there's something really cool about it. Like especially if I'm on the hunt for like new channel art or something, sometimes people put in all of their video descriptions the person who made their profile picture or something like that. I'll look for information like that sometimes. It just kind of depends. So anything you feel like is relevant that would help somebody out is the right answer. I do not think these are a gamified thing where you can trick YouTube into sharing your video. I do think they mattered more for that at one time, but I think this has been greatly reduced in terms of importance in the algorithm.
And some other YouTube educators may argue completely differently about how important descriptions are. You are more than welcome to listen to their advice and give it a try and see what happens. I'm not going to kind of dispute anything other than, as you say, Dan, stuffing tags in the description is against terms of service. So don't do that.
Yeah. But all right. So thank you for your question. A couple more here. Chris said channel review. Yes, these are channel reviews. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Appreciate you. And then RP Wild Travels says, my wildlife photo/video YouTube offered 2 hunters. LOL. What? Okay. Oh, sorry. This is really hard to read.
I've been reading this in the background for a couple of minutes now, and I still can't understand the question.
Basically want to know how to
I understand the question. I don't understand the first couple of sentences.
How do they stop YouTube from offering content to the wrong viewers? Add photo in description and camera and thumbnail. I don't know exactly what the issue is. I get we already answered a question just a minute ago about giving content to the wrong audience and how it's not something you have too much control over. This is interestingly another nature-focused channel, though, right? We were looking at a fishing channel before that had this problem, and now we're looking at a channel about hunting, which has this problem. So I'm not sure. It could be all kinds of things. It could be very cultural. Like I'm just not sure what's going on there. But this question isn't worded in a way that makes a lot of sense to me, and it's hard. Other than what we've already said about this topic, I don't know what else to add.
I think to try and give you an answer, the YouTube isn't offering up the video to the wrong viewer because
that wasn't clear. I'm sorry.
Because YouTube, the algorithm isn't video centric.
Oh, sorry, I just got it.
Right,
They're doing wildlife photography and the content is being offered to hunters.
But how do we know that? How do we know that the content is being offered up to hunt viewers? Maybe. Anyway, to try and finish my train of thought, the YouTube algorithm isn't video centric; it is viewer centric. So it's paying attention to what viewers are watching and their interests and their topics, and then trying to also match it with similar viewers. We did a video about this last Friday, and Dan, you were showing up the description of that video where we're talking about this. So try to not think about your video, and instead try to think about your viewer and how to best communicate and advertise your content to the ideal viewer. And I appreciate it. This may not be the answer to you want to hear, because it sounds like you've got some very specific examples of why YouTube is not recommending content correctly. But that's the best answer we can offer you, given that like your one wild travels channel of many tens of thousands that kind of operate in your space as well, with tens of millions of viewers who are interested in the topic that you're trying to serve.
Yeah. Apologies for not fully grasping the comment until later. Sorry, it took me 10 years to do that. But we're good now. So hopefully that helps. It is a difficult question to answer, but all right. Best of luck to you. Let's shift gears now. We're about to get into random selections, but why don't we bring on our third co-host of the day before we do that? Just waiting for a thumbs up. Third co-host. Okay, great. Hello, Travis.
Hi.
How are you?
Now the gears have shifted.
Have they? Why? Why have they shifted?
Because Travis is in the house.
Well, I don't drive manual, so we're gonna be in for a shock here. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason, Travis, it looks as if you're a thumbnail where maybe you're wearing a grey shirt, but then somebody in Photoshop has changed your shirt color to like bright yellow for some reason. I don't know why I'm getting those vibes. But
Yeah,
maybe I've never seen you wear a yellow shirt.
So I've had this shirt for a couple of years. It's actually from a friend of mine who designed shirts once upon a time. It is a wild color. It's probably just as wild in person as it looks on video. I figured it would help.
I wish the pieces.
The wish the pieces.
Travis, I feel like your mic is a little bit low today.
You know, here I can make it high. Is that better?
Yep.
So here's what's crazy about this. If I go to the platform that we use to record the podcast, this will be overdriving. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm a little bit upset because usually what you do, for those of you who don't know, if you have a mixer like you set it to Unity and you're good for everything. It's not the case anymore. People out here ruining these streaming platforms. And now I got to go up and down, and I'll be yelling on the next podcast episode because I'm going to forget the first thing. Anyway.
Well, let's bring on our next guest and start picking some channels.
No.
It's the Claw.
It's the Claw.
Yeah, but Travis, not the Claw as you know it.
It's fine. It's the same Claw, same great Claw, same great taste. Let's go ahead and ask the Claw.
Less calories.
Yeah. Yes. Now a fewer calories. Let's go and ask the Claw which channel to pick. So we have a bunch of channels, 299 on the non-gaming form, and all we got to do is hit a button and ask the Claw, "Hey Claw, can you please pick a number between 1 and 300? That's how many channels are waiting for review."
And now we wait.
No,
I was a bit early then. I thought we were ready to go, Dan.
that's perfect timing.
No, we're good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sure, Dan. Let's chase another seemingly great channel, like we're celebrating Leonardo DiCaprio's one lonely Oscar win. As if we don't all know that it took a bear, a frozen beard, and 2 hours of crawling for him to finally grab that golden statue. But no, I refuse to pick a number.
Oh,
Well,
Wow.
that was helpful.
okay.
Wait. So what happens now? Like what? The one
Can
thing
you please pick a number?
she has one job. She refuses to
She
do
has
it.
one job, and that's to give Leonardo DiCaprio some
She
beef.
just
Oh,
runs
absolutely, Rob. Just like how absolutely thrilling Jennifer Lawrence was in Silver Linings Playbook, right? Tripping up the staircase to accept her Oscar. How endearing. Not picking a number, sorry.
Still not picking a number.
All
Well,
right.
this was a great success.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick the number. It's
Great.
fine. It's 91.
Okay.
Sorry,
91.
everybody.
91. All right.
Yeah, she's super sassy today.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It's the outright refusal to pick is just kind of.
I think that is accurate.
Maybe.
All right, Vibin Hoops.
Is it Vibin or Vibin?
It's
Yeah, I
Vibin.
guess it's Vibin.
It might be Vibin.
Nah, it's got to be Vibin.
No, I think I'm just reading the
England,
channel
but-
literally. Right. Higher click rate, focusing on good ideas. All right.
How do you get people to click? All right.
They've been at this for 1 month, looks like. No,
Yeah.
Some of these views have thousands of views, so I'm
Yeah, the first one took off.
If we click that, do we have the engagement that matches that? I'm just curious. Because if so, like you're doing the most. I mean, does it look like everything's going good for you? Why don't you tell us how you did that on your first video? Because I'll tell you, the amount of people that can get 18,000 views on their very first video on YouTube is like 0.000001.
Dan, let's listen to the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
LeBron James, a name synonymous with greatness, the king. But was prime LeBron James really that good?
I pause it right there. I think that's like a textbook. Like I've been watching educators who give advice on how to write scripts. That was a pretty much ideal hook there. The editing's really sharp. They're getting around this copyrighted footage with what seems to be transformational content. As you said, Travis, like you need to go on this live stream and tell us how to make faceless channels because seems like a good example of one.
It sounds oddly like this isn't their first channel. I mean, I
yeah,
I'm
could be
completely
that
wrong, but it was so smooth and everything was so well done at the beginning. I was like, that's very good for someone who's just allegedly just starting out. But I mean, this is great. Obviously, when you get this many views this early on, it is so easy to think that, I should be getting even more. What you don't realize is if you had a regular YouTube channel that didn't have like, basketball behind it and like a bunch of great footage and stuff, and then you try to just do a regular YouTube channel, whatever that is, you'd be getting a 100th of these many views. So I don't want you to think you're not doing well. You're doing extraordinary for the amount of time and amount of videos you have going on, which is great. And I think you found a niche that's going to work for you. It seems like you have good topic ideas. I mean, if you look at these questions, look at these thumbnails and the title. Sometimes they're asking questions. They're really good.
I guess
what that good?
If we're being like maybe uber critical, like I guess the argument could be is that this creator is the 20th creator to tackle this topic in the way that they're doing. So like they're not first to market. And that could be like the only criticism that there's already really good faceless channel video essays on the NBA. That could be like the only criticism I have at the moment. I mean, even I'm aware of this. Apparently, this Luka trade, isn't this like the weirdest trade in basketball history or something?
I haven't been watching basketball in many years, and I've even seen it come across my thing. I have no idea what's going on, but yeah, I think so.
It looks as if they hit it timely in a timely manner as well. So like, I just want this creator to keep pushing, get to like the 25 video mark, 50 video mark, and see where they are, and then maybe start to look at if the ideas aren't working properly or if they need to just reframe the packaging a little bit, because things look pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
darn good.
With that, we'll look at a gaming channel. Yeah, the LeBron thumbnails were really good.
I agree.
Incredible.
I agree.
Gorgeous thumbnail. Yeah,
beautiful.
So there are 206 gaming channels.
I think we should do that for Rob Wilson. Have like a prime and prime in the back, and he's like, "Yeah, that'd be cool."
Unprimed.
Okay, Claw.
Primeless.
I'm glad you had a chance to take a break. Can you please pick a gaming channel? There's 206 of them. Please pick one number between 1 and 206, please.
Yeah, I'll go with that Optimus Prime in the background.
Or Rob Rhyme. Robin is Rhyme.
This will be fine.
Oh, gaming channel's fantastic. Like watching Nicole Kidman in The Hours. A prosthetic nose and a British accent, and they just handed her the Oscar, didn't they? It's also exciting. Regardless, I won't be choosing a number today. Too predictable.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It was worth a try.
Wow. Why is she so sassy today? I know it feels like this is her Monday. Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I didn't say don't pick a number. I said that your one job is to pick numbers. That's the job.
Man, she doesn't want this job.
So, goal of their channel is to earn a living off their channel and be able to build an indie dev support kind of business. Okay, so they're an indie developer building a YouTube channel, documenting their journey. They want to figure out their biggest obstacle, which is refining their titles and thumbnails and raising their average view duration. So everything. And then they believe we should focus on the intros of the videos and their packaging. All right.
Sounds like they have a good set of challenges that they've thought about. I think is cool.
Yeah. They play scary games. They have 1,200 subscribers, 486 videos.
So this is games they're playing, not their independent developer.
Yeah, definitely.
Business. That's fine. I want to establish what we're looking at.
So I guess they would like YouTube to help supplement their other interests.
Got it. Right.
That's what my guess is. But they could have talked about their own projects at some point. But these feel like a lot of different games. I don't think these are theirs. They could.
Yeah,
some of these could be.
I agree.
No
the thumbs are strong. Like usually with horror games, it's a very dark thumbnail, but they're using this consistent red background and contrasting it really well with whites and yellows. I can't really complain about the thumbnails.
Right.
They are suitably scary, but also enticing. Like, look at the one I have. I have to follow the instructions in this analog horror game, and they're climbing out of the game. That's.
Do you feel like
Pretty terrifying?
I feel like an alternative to this though would be to put the instructions on the screen, like just some text that gives an idea of what those instructions might be, just for more intrigue. These are good thumbnails, but it's once again another case of like, hey, these are great thumbnails, but like they're just sometimes not delivering as much information as they could.
Yeah. Maybe.
And I wonder if it's a matter of taking this image, making it a little bit smaller, putting it on one side, and the other side has the instructions or something, so you could still have the same vibe. I don't know. It's something to play with. But when we look at like the latest video,
yeah, let's scroll up and pick one to watch.
Maybe this one because it's 26 minutes, which feels a bit more of like an average.
I experienced no through road in this analog horror. I'm a little unsure what the title's trying to tell me.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
Let's look.
All right.
On to No Through Road now. On December 15th, 2008, 4 17-year-old boys from Stevenage, Hertfordshire were reported missing by their families. On December 17th, their bodies were found at Broomhall Farm, 10 miles outside of Stevenage, in the car that they had been driving. The residence was thought to have been long abandoned, but upon investigation, police officers found...
You're giving them no time to read this. Okay, let's maybe look... Does this game have like videos in it?
Is this Night Trap? If anyone remembers that from the mid 90s.
I never played it, but I know what you're talking about.
We're 2 minutes and 50 seconds in, and it still looks like video.
That's crazy.
They're obviously telling a story. Is there a game?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. What's going on?
Maybe it's a choose your adventure, and like as you click on different choices, it's giving you like different video clips or something. Or they're reacting to a video, maybe, because they have a YouTube timeline behind our YouTube timeline.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go back to the intro hook. Anyway, I didn't feel as if I was welcomed into the video if I was a brand new viewer. It was essentially the next episode without any recapping of what had previously happened. And so, as well as the title, as well as me getting a little lost on the title, I would probably be quite frustrated 20 or 30 seconds in thinking, oh, this video is just throw me into the middle of something. And I don't know where I am at the moment. I feel completely lost.
Just out of curiosity, I actually have played What Remains of Edith Finch and actually did it recently. Play that. Let me see, because I'll have at least a better idea of the game, and I'm curious how he's
I was gonna say I don't know what an analog game is, I guess, and that I cannot be the only one, right? So I think an explanation at the beginning would have been better.
Let me just see
which one.
The What Remains of Edith Finch, which is a great game, by the way. Just part of that. Let me just see.
What remains of Edith Finch?
Yes.
Whoa!
Sure.
Why is it so far away? Come back. Come here. Oh, I'm on a ferry? Whoa! This game looks nice.
Yeah, this feels more like an edited live stream, which is fine. I think and this is a 2.5 hour video too. So like I feel like if you want me to hang on for a long period of time, it's got to be even more engaging than that at the beginning. Like give me I've never played this game before. I have no idea what's going to happen. I hear it's great. I'm going to play it right now. And if I die, I'm going to blah, which of course you can't die in the game, but you know, whatever, like give some type of hook or something. That's like an obstacle. Like I'm going to play it and I have to beat it within 2 hours. If I don't, then I jump out of my window. I don't know, anything really. Like just be creative with it. And
every time I swear, because I swear often when I get jump scared in a horror game, I have to put £5 in this jar and I'll donate it to charity. So to add some jeopardy and stakes as well.
Yeah. If you're gonna have someone lock in for 2.5 hours, you definitely need an intro of some kind, and stakes help too. I agree completely. It's fine to do a long form gameplay video, but there needs to be more than just you being just as confused as I am about what I'm about to see. That should probably not happen. I think everything about this could be exactly the same as long as there's some kind of introduction to what the game is.
Yeah. It's a great game, by the way. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. That's cool. I wanted to say analog horror is a subgenre that uses aesthetics of vintage media like VHS cassette. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's neat. I think that would have been a great thing to put in that video.
We just never saw what the interactive elements of it were.
Yeah,
it just looked like we were watching a video.
Right. What makes it a game? Like that was all missing, and I think that context is very important, and that gives you more viewers. Stupid people like me are going to be like, "Oh, cool! Now I can sit down and actually enjoy this because I know what I'm seeing."
Dan, let's pick another channel and then do super chats. I'm just conscious of time here because I ordered my lovely wife to make me some pancake mix. I'm having pancakes after this, and then I'm off to play badminton. So like, I'm on the clock here, folks.
Yeah, we got.
You two can stay if you want, but yeah, let's get another channel in.
All right, so Latino
and screw Claudia because she ain't picking any channels today.
Yeah, Claudia's not picking anything today. Latino PhD, 28 subscribers, 8 videos. All right,
very cool.
What are the questions on the form?
Oh, sorry. Goal to sell related products and coaching on insights from Latino perspective to students interested in the PhD path.
Okay.
Very cool.
Finding my style, selling the idea of PhD learnings applicable to even non-PhD interested parties, views and subscribers. So thoughts, my niche, thumbnail, and hooks.
Niche is interesting. So they're trying to sell a product to people who are interested in getting a PhD. Is that what I'm taking away from this?
Naive question about PhD in what?
Yeah,
good question. Dan, can you just click on one of these 2 most recent videos? Is there a link to anything yet? Are they selling a product yet?
I'll walk through practical preparation tips, mentality shift to get rid of your nervousness.
So probably not yet. They've not designed a product or a course for it. They're just exploring.
Well, they have Substack, right? Isn't that something that you can sell stuff on?
Is it? I don't know.
I think it is.
And it says something along.
Substack's like a blogging platform, but maybe they can also attach like other stuff to that.
In your PhD defense day,
I don't know why today, but like this is so quiet. I can't hear a word. But
I can hear it a little bit.
Okay.
All about you. It's your big, huge day to share your accomplishments with everybody. You're going to arrive as a future doctor.
Bro. This is a deep cut for anyone who ever heard the song.
PhD, I am your host, Dr. Adolfo Lara, where my PhD experiences and realizations help you with your aspirations.
Is there some background music there?
Yeah.
I can't hear a word.
But to your point, you said there's multiple. I mean, there are multiple types of PhD. So I guess that's a really good point. Which one is this for? So it's weird because I sometimes will work with lawyers or real estate agents or whatever. They're in a very high-end professional niche, but don't realize that when they put out content on YouTube and they're kind of using the typical YouTube semi-generic titling, that they don't know no one knows what they're talking about specifically. So I think you have to be really specific about this. Like, Is this advice good for any person who's going for after any PhD period? I'm wondering if that's actually true. Maybe it is. If so, fair. From the Latino experience, that's fair.
Dan, can we let's do a search? Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about the landscape of PhD presentations. Or preparation, sorry. So if you scroll down a little bit, maybe we're searching in the wrong. Okay, so there's one there which is 100,000 views. So it looks like Andy Stapleton might be a good creator to do some research on. Can we just click on him and find out if his topic is navigate academia and like a pro. So there's kind of a combination there of PhD stuff, but also he looks as if he's really split up his audience there.
Yeah, but it's working.
AI stuff, and
I think the AI is being used as part of the teachings, though, for preparing for PhD.
It's the harsh reality of PhD in 8 stages, 5,000 views. The PhD strategy, 7,000 views, and then new ChatGPT features for every researcher, which is kind of more broader than PhD. I guess the reason I was curious about that is I'm trying to figure out if it's a broad enough audience, and I guess that's really not too important if you're just looking for the right audience to sell a product to. Like, the audience can be very small in that sense, but when we talk about a total addressable market of how many people are researching whether to undertake a PhD, you're probably looking at a ceiling of maybe hundreds of thousands of viewers, maybe 10,000 viewers, typically a couple of thousand viewers or less. So that is something to come to terms with in terms of your total audience size there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point, I think like red flag PhD students, the hard truth, I think this honestly needs to be more search based at this point. Like, what are the red flags when preparing for a PhD submission or something?
Are you a red flag PhD student?
Yeah, that could be the right approach.
I don't know, because obviously I've never studied for a PhD or anything. I don't know what that means, but I will say I've seen thumbnails with Reddit posts on them as the subject, and I think you're putting too much of your own text there. I think this post should be larger and more of the star, and you can then fit yourself in the thumbnail with the rest of the space and make like some kind of facial reaction, and then have the title that explains what this even means. Maybe people don't know this term. I don't know.
We've been experimenting with those styles of thumbnails recently, Dan. If you want to go to our channel, whereby we've kind of used the Twitter / X template, whereby you have a username, big comment, and then us with the kind of typical YouTuber face next to it.
Yeah.
That might be, and yours down there as well, Dan. Fine, we'll promote small channels. That's another example of how you could redesign that thumbnail a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So some ideas there for you, but I do think now that we've done a couple searches, I feel like I have like 5% more understanding of the niche. It does look like you are in like a niche. There are people just preparing for PhDs in general, so that's great. Do a little more research into different types of problems they might have, and think about how they're going to search for things when they're trying to answer certain questions. Consider that not everybody who's searching for something knows what they don't know. And so if you don't know the term red flag PhD student, you're probably not going to type into YouTube, am I a red flag PhD student? You might be looking for something completely different. And those are indicators of whatever a red flag PhD student is. And so you need to put yourself in the shoes of the viewer searching on YouTube. What are they typing in specifically if you are going for more of an SEO play?
Got some super chats, Dan. I think we should tackle them. A few more that came in.
Sure.
Upon Travis's arrival.
Okay, no more though. We're at time. All right.
Time.
Slimy Pickle says my views are pretty good, but I'm not getting many subs. How do I fix this for future videos?
Clean your pickle if it's slimy.
Stop worrying about subscribers is what I was going to say. I think all advice is valid advice, but I was going to say don't focus on subscribers, focus on making good content.
If it is important for you to get to 1,000 subscribers, you can have a call to action. I would say halfway or 2/3 into the video, when the people who are still watching feel as if they've got some value, and now they're more open to an ask from you.
MTH Music Tube Hub. I guess that's what MTH stands for. I'm a music channel, and I want to know how to get more views in my videos. Some videos get a few thousand views. Most of them get hundreds or less.
Even it's a music channel, but what type of music channel is it? Looking at instruments? Is it like cover versions of songs? We're missing an important element, unfortunately, for the question.
Yeah, but I will say,
yeah,
we've looked at a lot of music channels, and those are solid views. Because we've seen a lot of music channels struggle to get even 100 views. But we're not looking at channels based on super chat, so sorry, we can't really like help beyond that. We'll go to the next one though. I don't know how to say that.
Rhinax rises.
Okay. Is it really true that you cannot post your shorts on Facebook or TikTok because they consider it copyright? It's like repurposing content, even though it's your own. First super chat, love you guys, past 10 years. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You can post your content wherever you want, but the general advice is to remove the watermarks, because the individual platforms may detect that watermark and suppress the reach of the content. But it's your content. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it, unless you've signed some additional contracts with YouTube or whoever that doesn't allow you to publish your content elsewhere.
We have a video on this, but I can't remember what it was called now. But we talked about reusing content, and really, reused content is it's a term YouTube uses for people who are taking other people's content. Yeah. It's not really a term that's levied against you using your own content, and that goes for other platforms too. So yeah, the original file you uploaded to YouTube, take that and upload it to the other platform so it doesn't have a watermark.
Yep.
But just remember, you tend to make content for the platform. So like you just picking up this YouTube short and going over to Instagram Reels, that doesn't guarantee success, because it's a different system, it's different algorithms, etc., etc.
Math and Stacks is a new member. Thank you for becoming a member.
Emotional damage.
That's the sound effect for them becoming a member.
We have a compilation of the best of Claudia. You can absolutely make a compilation of the best of Claudia and send it over to us.
Yeah, this is one of these community things whereby if you think up of the idea, do it yourself. But we will post it on the live stream.
Absolutely.
Nick Hines says, I'm struggling with the main channel. Decided to create another one to test other ideas. Now, new channel took off. How to manage the situation. I don't want to quit the main one, but it's dragging me down a bit.
To be honest, I just follow least path of resistance. If this new channel is taking off and you're having fun doing it, just put all of your efforts into that and just keep the current channel in sort of maintenance mode until you want to return to it. And don't feel as if you have this pressure to maintain both channels at this point. Like, explore what's setting you free. Because I know, Nick, you've had a lot of challenges. It feels like you went through 6 to 12 months of your current channel going through like a plateau, and to have this moment of release, like, just enjoy it, embrace it. In my opinion, of course.
And your other channel could become the main channel. Think of it that way.
The main channel is what you designate yourself as the main channel. But definitely, congratulations on using the things you've learned from your other channel to start this new one, and it's taking off, and I would lean into that personally. But again, it's up to you at the end of the day. I did say no more super chats, so really no more. We just got this one.
This is the last one.
My channel monetization feature has been suspended. Don't know what that means.
I guess it means that they've been demonetized, community guideline strike, copyright strike. We don't know. We're not YouTube. Unfortunately, we can't help you. All we can say is that the email informing you why this happened is the best information that you have to take action on that. Sorry for your predicament.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the live stream.
Awesome.
Now. Yep.
Apparently, Dan, we're doing some radical things next week.
Next week, yes.
There's a tease, but we don't know what they are. We haven't thought up yet what we're going to do. We just had it on the calendar. Do something different.
Yes. So we are doing something different next week.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on, I didn't prepare the link now. Keep an eye on our community tab. There's going to be a form for you to fill out so you can submit your videos.
Form with these live streams, everyone's saying. Curse those forms.
You're going to want to submit ahead of time, basically, is the thing. And to do that, you're going to want to pay attention to our community tab, where we'll put up that form and you can fill out. And next week we'll do something a little bit different.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, we got all types of stuff scheduled coming out. It's going to be crazy in here. Make sure you come prepared. Put your seatbelts on when you're watching this live.
Yeah, folks, you come prepared, because we won't.
We won't know what's going on.
Okay, ending the stream now. Goodbye, everybody.
Salutes. Dan presses buttons. We wait until we get thrown off for live.